Okay, so today's video will go over how to use the new tool that I created. I added some new fixes to some of the bugs that we had, so you should be able to solve all the problems that we had before using our unit conversions worksheet here. So taking a look at what we have, we see this first page that I gave you guys in the last video, so I won't use these problems because we've already gone over those in the previous video. So if you do want to see this page, go ahead and watch the old video about how to use this tool. Okay, we had an error that was not actually an error for the kilometers per hour, so I didn't want to erase the old video because I know some of you guys might have looked for it, so I'll leave that one up there, but I will talk about these conversions in the video too that we make right now. But we'll start off with the easier ones. So I'm not going to touch on these topics yet, but we will move to the basic conversions. So the way I want you guys to do this is go to my website, and I made the tool called Unit Conversions. Okay, so you guys can go ahead and look at this thing. And we have a couple different ways to think about this. So if you want to read about the methods and review the concept of how it works, you can see the way it works. Okay, there's the alternative method, which is the way I kind of think about it. And this is more of like maybe the way a textbook typically teaches it. Okay. And then there was a bunch of problems that you guys were supposed to do down here. Okay, but instead of clicking that, what I want you to do is hit this button that's at the top. Okay, this is a tool that I made to help you guys whenever you're trying to do conversions. Maybe even in chemistry, this could help you one day if I add more, maybe volume and stuff into it. So you want to scroll down. If you start up here, you might think that you did something wrong, but just scroll down a little bit and you'll notice that the helper is here. Okay, so if I want to use this to help me do number one, it says convert 100 inches into millimeters, right? So we would put the 100 here, and then we put the inches, and then for here we go to millimeters. And you hit start conversion. So now what it's going to do is it's going to set up our helper tool to show you guys what you're supposed to write, but it's not going to just do everything for you. You're going to have to build the fractions on your own, right? So remember, I was trying to tell you guys, I wanted to subtract the writing from the learning, right? So you guys can learn by just finding the pattern. So remember, we want to cancel out the inches. So the inches will go on bottom in this case, and the centimeters will go on top. Then if you scroll down a little bit, you can check the fraction. Okay, or you can zoom out, hit Control minus, and you can see a little bit more of the window. Okay, you can zoom out more probably so you can see all of it at once. So now we're going from centimeters to millimeters. So I want to cancel out the centimeters. Notice the centimeters are on top, right? So now centimeters need to be on bottom or they will not cancel out. And so on the top now needs to be the millimeters. Okay, so now we check the fraction, and then notice that the inches cancel out, the centimeters cancel out, but the millimeters stay. And so that's why our calculation ends up being in millimeters. And notice the hundreds didn't really cancel out. So I will say that I'm a little bit dissatisfied with the cancellations to be the units, the inches, the centimeters, and the centimeters, okay? But this really is 100 times 254 times 10, right? So think about it. I have to move the decimal twice because there's two zeros, and then I got to move it a third time. And so think about it. If I have 2.54 and move the decimal 3 times, then we'll have that value, right? 2540.0, right? Because the decimal point moved 3 times from there to there. So this does not always have to be done by calculator. Sometimes you guys should be able to see the patterns right there. So this is how this works, okay? The other idea is you guys really want to write all of that on this homework assignment. So on the last time I said go ahead. I just wanted you guys to focus on the procedure. And I think you guys might have learned that. But now you guys will actually have to write all of this, okay? So all of that has to go there. And the thing is, you guys did build those two fractions on your own. Okay, the part that the helper is trying to show you is that these are the ones that cancel out. Okay, and it's helping you figure out what it was supposed to look like. Let's go ahead and do the next one now. Okay, you can try to reset it, but you might notice that it'll keep in this problem. So when you want to do a new problem, just close the tool and go back. I'll add a thing to fix that, but for now you guys are going to be stuck closing and opening it up again. Okay, so if we go look at number 2, it says convert 1,200 minutes into hours. So you would go here and press 1,200, then you would go there to minutes, and then you would go here to hours, HR is hour, and hit start conversion. Okay, now, like said the minutes are on top. See, they're not on the bottom of a fraction. So to cancel them, I need minutes to be on the bottom. Okay, so then an hour has to go on top. Okay, and notice the minutes cancel out, but 1200, right, divided by is all we have to get. Okay, so 1200 divided by 60 is the calculation that happened. All right, and notice the hours didn't get canceled out, and so the hours stay behind, but the minutes got canceled out because they were on top and on bottom of the fraction. Okay. So like I said, don't just keep resetting. Instead, close the tool and then open it up again. And then down here we have the next one that we want to do. So kilometers into millimeters is one you guys probably will be fine at doing. Let's try the years into minutes one. So we'll do 134 years. So put YR for years, and then for here we'll put minutes. Hit start conversion. And now you have this idea. It's time to go from years to days. So the years are on bottom and the days are on top. Okay, the days are on bottom and the hours are on top. Notice again, the years are going to cancel out. Well, now days are on top, so that's why I have to have days on bottom again so that that can go away. And for the last one, hours are on top. And so I need to cancel that out by putting the hours on bottom and making sure the minutes are the last one. So notice the days also got canceled out and it didn't really scratch them out, so it would be nice if you could do that. So cancel out the days and the day, and you can see that we're left with minutes only. So that's a lot of minutes, right? We got 70,430,000 minutes. Okay, so we can continue using this thing the same way that we have, but now I want to talk about this one. So let's do 2,700 meters per second into kilometers per hour. So that was 2,700 meters per second into miles per hour. Let's just double check that was right. There we go. Meters per second into kilometers per hour. Excuse me. So kilometers per hour. Okay. Start conversion. So the first thing we're going to do is we have to turn the meters per second into kilometers per hour. So we'll have to turn these into kilometers, and then we'll have to turn the seconds into hours, of course, to figure that out. So the first step to turn meters into kilometers is to put the meters on bottom. Again, meters are on top, see? So the meters won't have to be on bottom. The kilometer goes on top. Then we can check our fraction and see where we are so far. Okay, notice again the meters and meters are getting canceled. Okay, so now we got to go from seconds into minutes. Well, the seconds are on bottom, and this is where in the last video I thought that there was a problem, but this is actually perfectly fine. If I want to cancel out the seconds, now the seconds need to be on top. And the reason is because these seconds are on bottom. Get it? So to cancel out something that's on the numerator, I need to use the denominator, right? So that's why the meters are diagonal across from each other. See, one's on top, one's on bottom. So the 60 seconds will be on top, and that means that 1 minute must go on the bottom. So we can check that fraction and see it didn't give us an error because we have this the right way. Now we want to go from minutes to hours. So tell me, should minutes go on bottom or top? Well, the minutes are right here, yeah? You see them? Minutes are on bottom. So what goes on top? Minutes, right? We want to cancel out the minutes, and then on bottom is the 1 hour. So now if we hit check fraction, we have our whole process completed, okay? And there we go. Okay, notice the kilometers did not get canceled out, and so they're still on top. The hours didn't get canceled out either, but they're still on bottom, all right? So this works. Again, let's try to do one more example because I think these units can be a little bit confusing, but again, we just have to focus on canceling those out, right? Undoing that operation. So now let's take a look at this one, 25,000 feet per second into miles per hour. You know, I would invite you to just try it on your own right now, okay? Just do it on your own, pause the video, see if you get this, and if you get it, you might be ready to just go ahead and run off and finish your homework. Let's do 25,000 feet per second to miles per hour. All right, so right here, I'll go put 25, 1, 2, 3. Scroll down to our units that we need, which is feet per second. And then just to double check, we got miles per hour. So scroll down to these. Let's do our conversion. Okay, the feet are on top. So that means feet need to be on bottom. So on top is the mile. Okay? Well, now what do I want to cancel out? Well, it says convert from seconds into minutes. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Well, the seconds are on bottom. So where should they go now? Do they go on bottom also? That won't work, right? We have to have them on top so that they can cancel out. So if 60 seconds is on top, then 1 minute should be on bottom. Okay, now the last thing is to go from minutes to hours. Okay, notice where's minutes? The minutes are on bottom. They're on the denominator. So the numerator has to be minutes now. So we'll put 60 minutes, 1 hour on bottom. And we have this value, okay? So here's your equation, and don't forget you want to write all of that, especially taking care to cancel out the things, okay? Again, look, the seconds cancel out, the feet cancel out, but the miles did not cancel out, nor did the hours, all right? So this is the way that you guys can finish your homework. I think you guys can be successful, hopefully. I'll take one last look to see if there's anything that I'm worried about. You guys should be able to do this now, okay? So I skipped over just enough. The video is about 10 minutes long. This should be good to help you guys out, okay? So get pages 5 and 7 done from the conversions assignment for your homework tonight. And then don't forget that you also want to finish up page 3. Or sorry, this page 5, right? In this case, sorry, on your paper you guys see this is page 3, right? So page 3, you guys should get up numbers 1 through 8, okay? Good luck on homework, guys.